I hope everybody out there is having themselves a fantastic day, right? I hope you are. I hope you are, anyways. All right, Land of Confusion is what we're doing. First off, that was Genesis, Land of Confusion. Kind of appropriate. I sort of self-titled this after that song. And it's going to be slightly longer, but not that long. It's going to be a short show. And again, sorry about the hair. I took a shower. Don't care. I wasn't going to. It's bad enough I got to get dressed for these now that I'm actually on camera versus when I was just audio and I could be wearing anything and it wouldn't matter, or wearing nothing. Oh, yeah. No, okay, anyway. So, Land of Confusion. The song we're going to go out with is Pink Floyd, and that will be Comfortably Numb. And I don't know if I mentioned Land of Confusion is Genesis off of their Invisible Touch. Actually, I think it's one of my first concerts, possibly. Anywho. So, the reason I'm talking about this or bringing this up is this is a very interesting election cycle that we're going through. Out of all of the ones that I think we've been through, we seem to be crescendoing up to the most divisive one that I have ever seen. People are very, very strong about the candidates that they believe in and are super hateful, really, about the ones that they don't. So I wanted to cover a couple things. First off, to point out a very important thing. I am apolitical. I don't like either side. I don't like politicians. But I think politicians start off with their hearts in the right place, you know, when they're doing like local stuff when they're younger and all that stuff. But I think once you get to the national level, once you're like a senator or maybe Congress, but those guys are still very local in my mind. But senators and really above, you're drinking the Kool-Aid. You've got people that are shoving money in your pockets. I think really at that point, it's more about yourself, it's more about getting reelected, and it's more about the establishment than a lot of people, I think, really care to admit. Whether you agree with me or don't, I just want you to all understand I don't like either side. I don't like Hillary, I don't like Trump, I don't like any of them. None of them. So that being said, hopefully you grant me just a hair of leeway in that I'm not for either side. So everyone seems to be very, very polarized right now, and it's just, it's insane how much anger and hatred. So I want to cover a couple things. First off, the principles of manifestation. I talk about this all the time, the whole law of attraction concept, okay? So what you think, what you say, and what you do. Those are the ways we manifest. Now, the pressure, if you will, in the fire hose, right? The amount of water that's blowing out has more to do with the energy that you have while trying to manifest. So if you're trying to manifest things that are positive in your life or good things or new directions, new jobs, new relationships, all that kind of stuff, you want to have like good energy. You want to be like in love. You want to have positive thoughts. You want to be like, what does it feel like when I'm doing this job that I'd like to do in the future? Like that feeling is very important in the speed at which you manifest. So what you think, what you say, what you do is the actual manifesting black and white sort of process. The speed at which it happens is the energy behind it. I bring this up because this is super important as into what I think is really going on right now, and I think some of why they like it when it's divisive. I'm not going to define right now. You call them who you want. This is probably going to be one of my more controversial shows, but whatever the case is, I love this stuff, by the way. I'd love to do conspiracy crap. Maybe one day I will, but so far, this is the closest I'm going to be getting to it. So what you think, what you say, what you do, and then the feelings behind it is what matters. So here's my problem with the way things are right now, and here's my plead to everybody out there, or my plea. I think it's my plead. My plea. Whatever the right word is, let's try that one. Anyway, I said them both, so I think I should be safe. A little wiggle room, right? Boo-da-boo-da-boo. Anyway, sorry, microphone. Okay, so the problem I'm seeing right now is that everybody is there's like anger, right? So you bring up the other side, it's like, I hate you, and then you get all this craziness. That anger is not helping anybody. That anger is not helping you. It's not helping your friend. It's not helping whoever you're having this discussion with. They always say it's taboo to discuss politics, religion, and I swear to God there's another one. I can never remember what the hell it is. So it's that energy is where they have really caused, they're succeeding. They're causing us to keep in this negative spot, to be dividing us. So it's either you or Hillary or you or Trump or, God forbid, you're somebody else that's not one of those two, because then everybody hates you, right? If you try to, I'm an independent. All right, well, everyone's going to come crazy after you. It's easier when you just say, I don't like any of them, because then they're like, all right, I can live with that. But long story short, it's that energy. It's that energy that you're producing that is not helping anybody. This negative energy is actually detrimental to relationships we have with people. It's detrimental to the cause you have, right? Because you know what? No matter who you are, your side may win or your side may lose. But I guarantee it's going to be one of those, right? It could potentially, depending if the independent one, right? Or if you're independent, okay, you're probably not going to win. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just the way politics works. Most independent candidates really have little choice at all. And in fact, then you get beat up on for giving your vote away, right? Isn't that what they say? It's great. I love it. So it's that anger that we really need to watch out for. And really, here's my point, right? If the catastrophe happens, say, for those of you that live out here in California where I live, right, we get that big earthquake, right? Or hurricane people, right? When you have that major catastrophe, is it your politicians that are coming out and helping you? Are they the ones that are pushing that raft up to your front door to try to help save you? Or is it that guy that you hate right now that might be a Trump supporter or might be a Hillary supporter? Right? Is it that person that's going to come knocking on your door after that major catastrophe happens? We're the ones that have each other's backs. We need to watch out for each other. We need to love our neighbor. We need to appreciate the fact that in this system we have, you're allowed to have a different opinion. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether I agree with it, whether I think your candidate's an idiot or not, is beside the point. It's an opinion. It's your opinion. It's okay to have an opinion that's different than yours. I'm begging people to consider the fact that it's just an opinion. That's all it is. These people have your back when it comes down to it, because ultimately we have each other's backs and no one else cares. Katrina is probably my best example. Federal government screwed those people down in New Orleans, right? They screwed them. Nothing good came about that. None of the politicians were there to help until after, when people were already dead, already lost their homes, looting had already happened. Like all the horrible things that went down in that area. And it's not even, I'm not even going to get into the politics of it. It's because it's ridiculous how the government failed on so many levels. The government is not going to be there for you in the time of need. Your neighbor is. That person, say you're the Republican, that Democrat is the guy that's going to come to your front door and hopefully save your life if it matters. So please keep that in mind, because as we're going through these changes, this is the time right now where we need to unite ourselves, regardless of what opinion you have, regardless of who you believe in, regardless of whatever it is. We need to have each other's backs. It's the only way this world's going to change. Again, manifesting. We're trying to create a better world, a better life. These politicians have no desire. The powers that be have no desire to have us on the same page. They want us divided. They want us fighting about religion. They want us fighting about our political views. They want us fighting about creed. They want us fighting about man and women issues. If you think of all the things right now that are in the news that they're trying to divide us with, and in a lot of cases, being very successful. It's an opinion. That's all it is. Love one another. These people have your back more than you realize. Let's try to remember that as we go into this crazy time, because a lot of us are not going to win, and a lot of us are going to win, and then people are going to hate you for it. And then there's people like me that just apolitical. I've got no horse in the stake. I'll go out and vote for the different laws, and even those are confusing enough, right? You've really got to do some serious homework to try to figure out what it actually is, because all the stuff that's in the media will tell you that, yeah, all this money we're taking is good and it's great. We're going to do all these great things with it. But when you actually dig into it, that's not really what's happening. And then they've got all these rider bills and everything too. Really, the way the political system's set up, it's kind of set up against most of us. Again, have each other's backs, our communities, one another. That's the important thing. That's my only plea with people right now. I think that's the word I'm sticking with, plea, apparently. That is my only real plea out there, is let's try to remember we're in this together. We all bleed blood. We all bleed red. We're all in this together. Quick thing, this is kind of an example, and I think it's a similar microcosm. So some of these people that are going to be watching this are friends of mine from work. Hey guys, how you doing? Dan, RadioStyle, right? That's my channel. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. We had an issue go down last week. They basically cut the head off the snake at our company, and we've got some very interesting things going on. And they basically gave us a lot of lip service about what is happening. So they pulled us all into separate little groups, had our little separate new managers talk to us, and basically said, hey, here's what's going on. Again, I really truly think what's going on right now, it's confusion. That's what they're hoping for. They want us kind of divided. They want us kind of confused. They don't want us knowing what's going on. I think all of us, if you really stop and think about it and you look at the writing that's all over the wall, I think we know what's going on. Keep that in mind. A lot of us might be saying, there's no way things can happen. It's, I think, an issue of when. So keep this all in mind. This is exactly, it's a microcosmic version of what's happening on a larger scale right now in the world with politics, with the stuff that's even going on in Russia right now where they're trying to basically talk about World War III happening. All these things are meant to divide, meant to cause emotion, fear. Fear is not where you're going to manifest changes in your life. So that's really what this whole Dan RadioStyle is about, the land of confusion. They're trying to keep us confused. Love your neighbor. Listen to what's going on. Try to understand all sides of the story, and really don't just listen to what's being spewed about on the media. If you truly want to learn about something, read all the crazy stuff that's out there. Listen to the media, sure, but then read some of the other alternative sources. Get a broad perspective. Even if 80% of what you just read on that crazy website is wrong, 20% of it's got some truth. So try to find that little bit of that little nugget of truth in there. Try to find some of that, because in the mass media, you're going to find that 80% of that's probably meant to just confuse, meant to cause problems. So I'm just asking people, be good to your fellow man, pay a little attention to what's going on, and try to see the writing on the wall, because we're getting an opportunity to really see what's happening. And frankly, for all my light workers out there, we're winning the war in the big picture. This is a really interesting time right now, and we're definitely heading towards change. So keep being positive. Keep being with one another. Keep loving your fellow man. Keep loving your friends and neighbors. Let's stay together on this, because we're going to need it in the end. That's what's going to matter. You and I have each other's backs, and we need to, okay? So be supportive. We're going out with Pink Floyd.